Galactic Farming, what is it? Crying and scrying. My eyes are a little red from looking at the truth a little too closely. Your body purges as you upgrade. As these energies upgrade, your body's going to have to purge the denial, the cellular retention. Talk about water retention. It's more like karma retention we have. Galactic farming. So Earth, there are beings in the galaxy, in the universe I suppose, but in our galaxy, the humanoid galaxy, where we're really the humanoid shape, the two bipedal is the normal shape. Although there are some insectoid and bird people and so forth, you know. I remember lifetimes of being the eagle man in Atlantis. You know, it was the first first past life regression that happened naturally for me. I could see my life as being able to shapeshift between human face head and an eagle head back in Atlantis. Far out stuff. That's some far out stuff, Tobias. That's really weird. And anyway. And you've all had them if you're watching this likely. And if this is irritating you, please turn it off. Thank you. So galactic farming are, just like you've seen documentaries in 8th grade science, how you saw the ants keeping aphids, these little green bugs, that they would stroke their back and the aphids would put out a liquid that the ants would eat. Just like we keep cows so we can eat them. Pigs. We farm them and eat their flesh and blood. This was not the original, nor is it intended, and it is going back to the original plan. It was not intended that we kill and eat each other on earth. And masters, as they speak this truth, the lion shall lay down with the lamb again, and we'll just eat directly from what? The manna, the direct energy, the Kichara Mudra, dripping the eternal nectar from your pineal and pituitary gland, the pituitary gland, dripping this nectar that feeds your whole body. Sunlight is enough. Trees don't eat. Oh, they get minerals from the soil, yes, but they live off of sunlight. Photosynthesis, putting photons together. But there has been galactic farming, eating, feeding on other beings, other beings, right? Some of that too. So you'll create a whole planet of a managed Truman Show, a matrix that has a false reality, and you put it in with hokey religions. This is exactly what's happened on Earth. We have these ridiculous fanatical religions that prey on the fear of humans, of finding the right religion and willing to kill each other and bloodshed. Look at my other video, the Abrahamic Anunnaki blood sacrifice religions. So, and you notice they're the ones that create the trouble. The Buddhists and the Hindus don't create that much trouble. Zen masters aren't likely that much to go to war with each other. But it's these fanatical sky god religions of avenging sky gods, fathers, that create the blood sacrifice religions. So Earth has been a galactic farm for a long time that galactic farmers have been using, feeding off our soul energies. Our fear mostly. This is why they actually like war and blood sacrifice. It is in the blood. They drink the blood literally, or the energy that creates the blood. What could be more powerful than 750 million blood cells every day being created in your bone marrow? That's a lot of life force in your bone marrow. The magic in Father's bones. The bones, the relics, the blood marrow factory. I'm exposing some nasty shit here, but this feeding off the blood. But even before the blood, the life blood, there is a life force, a life energy, the chi, the innocence. This is why stealing innocent life force is the highest commodity in the universe. And learning to feed off of people's innocence, implanting them with fears and terrors, so that it's like like the device we put in maple trees. You put a thing in the maple tree, and it bleeds the maple tree, and then we drink the maple syrup, which is really good for you, by the way, right? The same with us. They put devices into our chakra systems, and they bleed that energy, and they feed off of it. Some people have called it loosh, this in the inside military secret programs. Loosh is the flood of that energy that they can feed off of. This has been going on 30 years ago. Source God started showing me this stuff of the vampire energy harvesting that's going on Earth. If we were not being harvested of energy, you'd be able to walk on water. You wouldn't age. You wouldn't age. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. So who came up with aging? Aging is bullshit. Aging is a lie that you've bought. Now, it's still happening to us, and me as well, because we're inside this matrix still. But we're starting to undo that. In ancient times, we lived a long time. These Bible stories are just little tail end remnants of how long people lived. The scribe Hermes Trismegistus Toth lived for 75,000 years. He was in Atlantis and all the way to Egypt and actually into our days. But they have to hide themselves. Babaji and Yogananda's lineage is eternal. They live forever. When you go into those realms, there's a few of them here. You can't meet them unless you are ready to meet them. You know, a Hopi medicine man that me and a friend used to work with, he worked more with him. He thought I was kind of slow. The name Medicine Cloud, that's not his name, it's just Medicine Cloud. He would materialize a body literally. Okay, I've met him once physically. I know this is far out stuff. This is the Don Juan tradition, Carlos Castaneda. A hint at it right there. So this is very real. But galactic farming occurs. Earth is a farm planet. It's a prism. It's a sheeple, cattle people planet. They live 75 short years and they're just drained of energy, whether it's for big pharmaceutical drugs or we've implanted that you age and die. You have a little bit of youth, and then all of a sudden you got to knuckle down and go to work and create what? More chickens, more people, more little booby-hatched eggs for the cabals to feed off of. Yogananda once talks about Paramahansa Yogananda, one of the most powerful yogis who brought it here early in last century, driving down from his headquarters there on Washington, the hills of Hollywood is where it is, the Washington, what's it called? I forget what it's called, the Washington Mountain or something. He's driving down the hill and he's seeing, he's kind of having that moment that Jesus has, which is even the foxes have holes to lay their head. I'm working all the time. He's driving by the houses where they have families eating dinner and they have a little family life. The Spirit tells him very strongly, do you want that? Those are the chickens in the chicken coops. Do you want to live in those coops? Because the owner comes and takes the eggs away and takes the young chickens away and makes broilers of them, i.e. puts them into wars, sending our 19-year-old kids off to be slaughtered and blood sacrificed in wars. World War I, 100 million people killed. World War II, I don't remember. And whatever they're planning and orchestrating right now. Galactic farming is a real deal. Break out of it. Don't be a chicken in a coop. Every teacher says this. They have to do it gently. They don't want to scare us. All right. Just feel the intention. And the good news is, if you call out to Source God in whatever form, it is immediately there to help you. That's not easy because you're going to have to unprogram yourself from these fears. You're going to be like the cattle when they first open the gate. The cattle are terrified to walk out of that gate, even though they're free now. Or the bird, that once you open the cage they've been in for 20 years, they're terrified to fly out. We have that programming in us. It's been generational programming to become human cattle, to be fed on by the powers. That you can get free. I am. It's not easy. People turn on you. People flip on you. There's so much paranoid fear programming they've put into humans. The religionism, the scientism, all the isms. These are all there to keep us locked into a 3D matrix of fear and terror so they can feed off of our fear and terror. Loosh. We're farm animals. Just the same way we dart animals on the Serengeti and, do research on them. The same way these other ET races come and abduct us at night, the farm animals. You don't have to do that, by the way. You can speak up and say, no, I don't want to be part of it anymore. Time to start waking up to the Truman Show, to the Matrix reality on Earth. But the way to do it is not just expose what's going on. I'm doing that a little bit right here. Tell the truth about it. That's the shock therapy. but you got to actually upgrade your energy system. You got to pull these implants out. You got to get this crap out of you so that you are not a farm animal with, like they do with cows. They make a hole in their stomach. We're just farm animals. A lot of the humans are just programmed, predictable human flesh bots. It's just the way it is. Shocked me when I first started having spirit and show me this. God show me this, you know? So you can get out of it, but you got to do some work. You can't sit in front of the TV and eat your Cheetos. You got to unplug yourself some. And then everything gets more beautiful. All right. That's the dark message for today. But let it inspire you to wake up. The good news is that you can wake up. Millions of us are coming out of this program at this time on Earth. But there's going to be some serious shocks to the system along the way. And we have to look behind the curtain. All right. More later.